So you want to clean your O2 sensor. Good instinct, wrong method could cost you everything. This video covers the exact mistakes that take a $40 fix and turn it into an engine management nightmare. And I will give you the correct approach for every single one. Here is what surprised even me after years of working on these systems. Most people who clean their O2 sensor think they solved the problem, when what they actually did was teach their engine to run wrong more efficiently. The sensor sends just enough signal to keep the ECU happy, while all your fuel trims drift quietly in the wrong direction. You do not feel it. You do not see it until the catalytic converter bill lands. That is what this video is really about. Number 1. Relying on O2 sensor cleaning as a regular maintenance strategy. Here is the one that makes experienced mechanics genuinely cringe. You have seen the videos, read the forums. Clean your O2 sensor every oil change and it will last forever. People build it into their schedule. They feel responsible for doing it. And the whole thing is built on a foundation that simply is not true. Oxygen sensor cleaning is not a maintenance procedure. It is an emergency measure for specific circumstances, not a substitute for a replacement interval. Healthy, properly functioning sensors do not need to be cleaned. And if yours does regularly, your engine has a problem that cleaning will never solve. Every mile you run on a compromised sensor, your ECU is making fuel delivery decisions based on bad data. Fuel economy suffers, emissions worsen, and your catalytic converter takes a quiet beating. A quality aftermarket O2 sensor costs $40 to $80. And that is nothing against the damage a failing sensor causes over 20,000 miles of incorrect operation. Now that we have torn down the biggest myth, let us get into the specific mistakes that feed it, starting with the one that poisons your sensor so subtly, you will not even know it happened. Number 2, using the wrong type of cleaner. Here is where the internet has done a genuinely terrible job. Search how to clean an O2 sensor, and you will find forums confidently recommending carburetor cleaner, brake cleaner, WD-40, and gasoline. People swear by all of it, then quietly wonder why their check engine light comes back 3 months later. Most of these products contain chlorinated solvents, petroleum distillates, or silicone compounds that do not just fail to clean the sensor, they actively contaminate it. Silicone especially is the silent killer, coating the sensing element in an invisible layer that permanently destroys its ability to read oxygen levels accurately. I once diagnosed a brand new sensor failing after just 800 miles because the owner wiped it down with a silicone-based protectant just to be safe. There is one safe option: dedicated O2 sensor, cleaner, or pure acetone, used sparingly, with the sensor removed and completely cold. Everything else is a gamble you will eventually lose. And once you have the right product, the next mistake is thinking longer exposure means better results. Number 3, soaking the sensor too long. Soaking parts in cleaner loosens carbon deposits. That is true up to a point. The problem is people read the word soak and think longer must be better. Dropping the sensor in a jar of acetone overnight and coming back feeling like they did something thorough. They did not. The seals, protective boot, and wiring harness connection on most modern sensors are not designed for prolonged solvent exposure. Extended soaking degrades rubber components and wicks solvent up into the wiring. 15 to 30 minutes is the absolute maximum. Tip only in a small container of pure acetone. Wiring end pointing completely clear of the liquid. Once the wiring insulation starts cracking from solvent exposure, you will chase electrical gremlins for weeks before tracing them back to that one overnight soak. Of course, none of that matters if you make the next mistake, because this one physically destroys the most important part of the sensor in about 4 seconds. Number 4, using a wire brush or abrasive to scrub the tip. You look at that carbon-fouled sensor tip, think of it like a dirty spark plug, and reach for a wire brush. Feels productive, feels thorough. It is, without question, one of the most destructive things you can do to an oxygen sensor. The sensing element is coated with a microscopically thin layer of porous platinum. This allows the sensor to measure oxygen differential and report accurate data to your ECU. One pass with a wire brush, even a soft brass one, and that platinum layer is gone. The sensor will still work. The way a scratched cornea still lets you see. With fuel trims that shift inconsistently and resist diagnosis, yet test within range at the shop. The only acceptable mechanical cleaning is a very soft toothbrush. No metal, no abrasive compound, ever, because the chemical does the work and your brush just assists. But even perfect technique will not save you from the next mistake, because this one happens before you even open the cleaner. Number 5, spraying cleaner directly on a hot sensor. This has practically become a ritual. You have just pulled off the highway, the engine is hot, and you decide right now is the perfect moment to grab the spray can and get to work. I have seen this more times than I can count. And what happens next is not cleaning. It is destruction. Thermal shock is real. Blasting a cold chemical solvent onto a ceramic element sitting at 300 to 600 degrees Celsius cracks the internal substrate microscopically, sometimes invisibly. The sensor starts giving false readings almost immediately, with a replacement running $150 to $300. Always let the engine cool completely before you touch that sensor with any chemical. No exceptions. And cooling the engine only helps if you actually remove the sensor first, which brings us to the next mistake people defend like their lives depend on it. Number 6, trying to clean the sensor without removing it. This one almost seems logical. Why remove it if you can spray cleaner in place and save yourself the hassle? The thinking makes sense. The result does not. When you spray cleaner into the bung with the sensor still installed, you have zero control over where that chemical goes. It runs into the exhaust system, pools in crevices, and gets drawn into the engine on startup, causing rough idle misfires, and in some cases, catalytic converter damage. Beyond that, you simply cannot clean the sensing tip effectively without being able to see it, rotate it, and inspect it up close. Pull the sensor, use a thread chaser and penetrating oil on a stuck bung. Do the job properly, or do not do it at all. And once that sensor is out, there's a step most people skip entirely that turns a successful cleaning into a repeat repair within 48 hours. Number 7, reinstalling the sensor without inspecting the bung and wiring. You have cleaned the sensor, threaded it back in, cleared the code, and driven away. 2 days later, the check engine light is back. I hear this story constantly, and the cause is almost always the same overlooked step. The O2 sensor wiring harness is one of the most heat and vibration stressed electrical connections on the entire vehicle. After years of thermal cycling, insulation gets brittle, connectors corrode, and ground circuit resistance creates the exact same symptoms as a bad sensor. Before reinstalling, clean the connector with contact cleaner. Inspect every inch of harness you can reach, and run a quick continuity check with a multimeter. 5 extra minutes that can save 5 hours of future diagnosis. Speaking of preparation, the next mistake involves a product people use with the best intentions and apply in exactly the wrong way. Number 8, applying anti-seize to the wrong part of the sensor. Anti-seize feels like the responsible move on anything threaded in metal. But with O2 sensors, it has to be applied in the right place in the right way. And almost nobody gets this right. Most sensors come with anti-seize pre-applied from the factory, deliberately kept away from the first thread loops and nowhere near the sensing tip. Because when it migrates to the ceramic element, it contaminates exhaust gas readings, sending your ECU chasing false fuel trims that tank fuel economy and push up emissions. If your sensor did not come pre-treated, apply a tiny amount of nickel-based anti-seize to the middle threads only, keeping both ends clean and dry. Even if you have done everything right up to this point, the next mistake will still send you straight back to square one.